guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the 4th edition of Founders Live Harare. How are you doing today, Tsoka?
I am doing great. Did you say 4th edition?
14th.
Exactly. Welcome to the 14th edition of Founders Live Harare. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, I'm Oxy.
And I'm Tadzoka.
And we got our names right today.
Exactly.
So what are you drinking today?
Well, we always have our usual
Masamba kombucha.
Masamba kombucha. Cheers. What flavor are you drinking?
Lemon ginger.
I'm drinking orange turmeric.
All right. Well, you guys grab your favorite drink and join us for an exciting afternoon of competition.
Some red wine.
Also has the red wine.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, Tadzoka, do you want to tell us what Founders Life is all about and what people are tuning in for?
Yeah. So, Founders Live is a happy hour pitch competition where people can come pitch their ideas and their businesses in 99 seconds. It's really great because we get to learn about new entrepreneurs, investors, and people who are potentially interested in your business also get to come to the platform, and we get to put Zimbabwean entrepreneurs on the map. So yeah, if we can hear more specifically about what Founders Live is from the founder himself, Nick Hughes. And this is where the video is coming.
We hope. What do we usually say? Support.
Support. There it is.
Founders Live is a social platform for entrepreneurs all around the world. It's a community to inspire, educate, and entertain. We hold events in a growing number of cities that highlight emerging talent. And online, we have videos, posts, articles. As entrepreneurs, we're incredibly lonely sometimes, so I wanted to connect other founders to help solve their problems.
This is a good atmosphere to see the different problems that a lot of different industries and startups are handling.
The ultimate vision for Founders Live is a global entrepreneurial community where startups and founders connect with anyone else in the world, and instantly they've reached millions of people, possibly even raised money.
I love new ideas. I love hearing about businesses getting off the ground. Nick always packs the house. Founders
Live was created on a foundation of 4 core values. First, respectful authenticity. You should feel comfortable and just be who you are. Core value number 2, gather around the campfire. We're figuratively sitting around a campfire telling stories. So we encourage you to describe the future that you imagine.
To get everybody from all different age groups, all different industries, and talk about growing companies. It's what it's all about.
Core value number 3, open the door. My success has come from others opening a door for me. We encourage doing great things for people without expecting a return. And the final core value, no name tags. You'll notice that you're not wearing a name tag. That is just an analogy of removing the awkwardness. So if you want to know their name, simply walk up and shake their hand. People pitch their business idea with only 99 seconds. We have 4 minutes of Q&A, and you're going to cast your vote, infusing the 4 core values, short, exciting pitches, and then having a crowd around the world voting on the best startup. Creates such a unique experience. This will not be your last Founders Live event. We hope to see you at the next Founders Live.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nick. So, guys, if this is not your first Founders Live, please comment in the comment section. And if it is your first Founders Live, comment also and let us know where you're joining from. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the organizers behind Founders Live Harare. And who are they, Tadzoka?
Impact Hub Harare.
Impact Hub Harare. So, Impact Hub Harare is a social innovation space, and we focus on social impact across sectors. So, whether you're in the agriculture industry, manufacturing, environment, Impact Hub is the place for you. We work around the sustainable development goals and circularity as well, because we're all about sustainability and improving the startup ecosystem in Zimbabwe. And we have different projects. I could go on, but they range from technology. We're working on a blockchain project currently, and we also have a netball team in Mbare. So we're very diverse. It's very interesting things that we do at Impact Hub Harare. So yeah, it's exciting times. So Tadzoka, I see that your fashion sense today is a little
what?
Funky. I don't know.
Funky, yeah. You see my Insta cap?
Yeah. yes, tell us about that. What's going on with you
It's
today?
my Instagram cap. It's for the gram.
Isn't that brand placement? Are we allowed to do that?
Oh, y'all are on Instagram. We know y'all are on social media.
Are we allowed to do that? And
Totally.
and your juicy is.
Do you know ndakatora juicy rangu randakakanganwa? Yes.
Oh,
That's what that's about. I see you wakapfeka juicy.
But is this I see him a juicy? Like we don't keep juices at anyone's house.
Oh, I
we
see.
Take them. So tell us about this juicy character. What's it about?
Juicy, guys, has been rocking the charts. So we just want to talk about that a little bit because we love young, even older artists, but we love artists and promoting our local art. So Juicy is by K Chaps, known as Kudakwashe Chapepa, popularly known as K Chaps, and he's a Zimbabwean musician from Harare. He gained a lot of recognition, after a video of a live performance of his song Juicy, which is why we were dressed in our Juicies. Oxy still is. And prior to the release of Juicy, K Chaps had dropped several other singles, including Kilimanjaro, Maranga, Makua, Six Malebo. He is only 24 years old. So we are really, really excited to be able to play Juicy. Yeah. And we're so excited too to see that his song has spurred so many repeats, clapbacks, all of that, and has started a social dialogue about people leaving each other and leaving their things at each other's homes and all of that. So it's a cool song for social commentary, I think.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I love about him is like when he sings, you can feel everything that he's going through. He's a very soulful singer. So I think, especially during these Corona times and everything, a lot of people have been able to relate to him, whether they are going through their own breakups or not, single people like the rest of us. We feel your pain, Kay. So Taku, do you want to play the song? So
let's hear it. And please just drop your comments for the artists about the song. And let's have some entertainment before our pitches.
It's okay, I'll be fine. It's just a matter of time. Chete ko hunting ndizo za wakada. Kaskudzidza kumboperi mwara nengane china. Chikumba ndina sindi chirinda katama ungandirove zikumeke. Believe. Kuita kundidomo za you played. Deceive. Wakandirakidza zveshuo turi mwa. Now if dine makostar kunditsoma kumba kwedu saka dzoka utore juicy rako rawakakanganwa ndikaritarira ndoshaya rugare utore nhumbi dzako dzawakasiya mumba mangu iwe ndikadzitarira ndoshaya rugare wakatuda attention I gave you the shit. I'm broke from all the dreams that you were selling me. With Moke Munu, I felt I should tell you this. Banyangwe zazo atizi my enemies. Zakare ngati mozisiye. Zerudo zacho tai mozitire. Kodai wakandi utoti audi waipei. Now chando kumbira kuti utore juicy rako rawakakanganwa. Ndikaritarira ndoshaya rugare. Utore nhumbi dzako dzawakasiya mumba mangu iwe ndikadzitarira ndoshaya rugare. Utore juicy rako rawakakanganwa. Ndikaritarira ndoshaya rugare. Utore nhumbi dzako dzawakasiya mumba mangu ndikadzitarira. Zichimboitirwe zerudo zvacho taiziitire. Zichimboitirwe Zerudo zvacho taizi dzoka utore juzi rako rawakakanganwa ndikaritarira ndoshaya rugare utore nhumbi yako dzawakasiya mumba mangu iwe ndikadzitarira ndoshaya rugare utore juzi rako rawakakanganwa ndikaritarira ndoshaya rugare utore nhumbi dzako dzawakasiya mumba mangu iwe ndikadzitarira ndoshaya rugare.
Wow.
That's some real pain.
I feel like I'm crying a little bit, like on the inside, you know?
Yeah, I know. That was a tough breakup.
That was yeah. Well done, young man. I don't know, am I allowed to say young man? Because technically I'm also young, so.
You're allowed to.
Okay. So, Tazana, what do you think is the number one impediment for startups in Zimbabwe? Like, why do they not start their own businesses?
The number one.
Yeah, according in your opinion.
How are you gonna put me on blast like that? I can't say number. I can't pick one. No.
What do you think? Why do people not
start businesses?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, yes,
it's hard. I know. I mean, legit. It's I think you have to really want to do what you're doing to stick with it throughout any challenges, whether it be socioeconomic, whether it be personal at home. Like there's a lot that you have to contend with. So you can't be like, oh, it sounds nice to start a business because yeah, it sounds nice, but there's a lot that goes through it. So I think that could be a major hindrance, and also just the risk. You know, it could seem like a high risk area when things are always changing,
right?
And you don't know. I mean, all of a sudden we have this virus, and it's like, who would have thought we would have this virus that has decimated a lot of businesses across the globe? So it's like, you know, you just don't know. That being said, that's why it's so impressive to me all the time that the people who are starting businesses or who are working in spaces, not even just starting businesses, but people who are continuing to work towards something, even if it's nonprofit or even if it's like helping students or whatever it is great because they're doing so despite all of the odds, and the odds are there.
No, and that was a really, really great answer. I think maybe starting a business, I've seen how these young people have a lot of passion and drive, but sometimes then they run into the issue of capital, right? So this next startup, what it actually does is it's a crowd investing platform where startups can get capital from their customers and their fans, and then they offer them rewards and other fun stuff like that. So it might be a little bit easier to get capital in Zimbabwe through these guys. They're called Startup 360, and Melbourne Nyamadzao is going to represent them. So can't wait to hear what he has to say about democratizing the capital industry.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
Did you know over 80% of startups have no access to seed and growth finance, despite efforts by the private equity market, banks, incubators, and accelerators? And over 50% of entrepreneurs and startups fail because they can't find, one, the best talent or the right talent to work for their ventures. This is why we have founded Startup 360, which is an investing platform where entrepreneurs can acquire capital directly from their fans, their customers, or any retail investor in exchange for rewards and equity. We've bundled Startup 360 with a complementary product, Startup 365, which is an invite-only talent platform where founders and entrepreneurs meet fellow game changers to collaborate and share resources. Our target market are entrepreneurs or prospective investors with a $15 billion market, and we expect to obtain a market share of $4 billion in the next by 2027. Our revenue model is we charge 6% commission on successful capital raised on our platform, and we project to make $600,000 in revenue this year. We're looking for $15,000, which is going to go into accelerating our product as well as cater for our go-to-market strategy. We're also looking on to network with accelerators and incubators, as well as get legal assistance to comply with the Companies Act in Zimbabwe and in South Africa.
Great presentation.
Wonderful, wonderful presentation, Melvin. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Oxy and Totoka.
Great.
So guys, you can feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. We'll just go right ahead and ask Melbourne a couple of questions ourselves. I think it's a really interesting idea. I would like to know a little bit more about your traction. Like, what have you guys done so far? How many people do you have on your platform and all of that?
Okay, so currently we are pre-revenue. So we're just working on our MVP, that is our minimum viable product, right? So just end of last year, we just went into beta testing our product with a few customers just to see if it's working properly and if the funding model is working. So that's what we've been doing right now. So we're looking on to going live, that is in the next month. So currently we're just issuing out a Google form and stuff like that to get entrepreneurs to pitch to us so that when we go live, we start with them. That's what we've been doing at the moment.
So in terms of that, like how many people have you beta tested with, and how do we know that it actually works? What is the guarantee that if I give my money to this platform, that it goes to where it needs to go? Like I'm a little bit apprehensive about the securities behind it.
Okay, so your question would be, what guarantee do entrepreneurs have if they get funding through our platform? Is that correct?
And the investors, right?
So the money, where, I guess, how are you securing this?
Okay, so what happens is we are just an intermediary, right, between the customers or the retail investors or anyone who wants to invest in startups. And then on the other side, we have startups which are looking to be connected with these people. So what we do is our platform just guarantees security where a startup pitches to whoever it is who wants to invest in startup, then money comes in our platform. So we hold that money for a period of time when the entrepreneurs are raising that capital. And as soon as the funding round, which takes from around 1 month to 3 months, is over, we just release the funds from our wallet directly to the entrepreneurs. Okay. So it's just
you guys
straightforward.
Are fund managers, essentially. You're fund managers, essentially.
Basically, yeah. That's what we do.
Okay.
So we're just connecting the two people together.
Okay, great. And you mentioned that you need...
Basically, yeah. That's what we do.
And you mentioned that you need $15,000 capital. Did you say how much equity? I may have missed that for $15,000.
Oh, no. We at the moment we didn't mention how much equity we're looking for. So it depends with the investor who is investing in our startup, whether it is non-dilutive source of funding where we don't issue out equity. But if it's equity, we're looking on to giving about 6% of the startup since we are in a pre-seed type of round.
Okay, so 6% for the 15,000. Okay,
and
then to go back a little bit to the holding funds, I guess, are you holding the funds in escrow? Will this be like a local platform? Can investors invest in different currencies? Are they investing in RTGS? Are they, how does that work? Okay,
so currently we operate in South Africa and Zimbabwe. That's what we want to do, Zimbabwe and South Africa. So the thing is about that is it just depends on our payment platform or the gateway. But startups in Zimbabwe can invest in RTGS. It just depends with what the entrepreneurs who are raising funding are looking for. But we are flexible to any currency depending on the region that the entrepreneurs or the founders are operating from.
Okay, great. And we have a question from a question and a comment, which I like to call comments, from Ryan Pitch. Is it like Kickstarter or Indiegogo? If so, what's the plan to navigate currency issues?
Okay,
is it like Kickstarter or Indiegogo? If so, what's the plan to navigate currency issues?
Okay, so on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, it's different because Kickstarter is a reward-based crowdfunding platform, right? As we are a hybrid. So hybrid is we offer rewards and we also offer equity. That means that any person can invest directly and get equity from investing in us, which these startups don't do, right? And also we, if you've listened carefully, we also have a talent platform where we're trying to fix this talent problem, because we realize that most startups fail. It's not only finance, but they can't find the best or the right talent. So in our platform, what we're trying to do is, as entrepreneurs are raising funding, we're also trying to connect them with the best talent who are going to help them build or scale their products. That's what we're going to do, to answer the first part of the question. And then when it comes to navigating the currency issues, I think right now we're just trying to work on a universal currency, which is the US dollar, right? And most of our payment gateways are in US dollar because it's security in that base. But for startups in Zimbabwe, who want to invest in RTGS, because we're trying to democratize funding and let anyone invest, regardless they have a CM dollar, RTGS, or the US dollar, right? So we're trying to see how best we can use EcoCash and how best the startups which are receiving the funds will get the most value. So that would depend on the founders themselves. But on the currency issues, it's just a payment gateway issue. And I think that we have it catered for because we support a lot of payments on our platform.
Okay, great.
Okay. So Melvin, I have two questions. The first one is, you talk about the investors receiving equity. How have you structured that? Because if I, for example, invest $100 in a startup, like how much equity do I get? And the second one, I guess, is related to the first one. And who is on your team that has like managed funds before or is into like that whole finance system in terms of regulation and all of that?
Okay, so what happens is, just to give you a background, so what happens when someone invests, right? Number one, the entrepreneur, so let's say they want to raise 100,000 and you raise 10%, right? So they say we're raising 100,000 for 7% of a startup and you invest $100. So what happens is it's just an easy math. So it's 100 over that 100,000 by 7%. That's the amount of equity that you're going to get in that startup. Basically, that's how simple it works. So the more you invest in the startups, the more money you get. That's how it works. And then who on our team is in finance and legal? So myself, I am a finance major, right? And my co-founder, Claudius Muteve, is an actuary. So we understand that industry from that background. I think the only thing that is missing from our side is just the legal part, where we also have to navigate certain things. But when it comes to actuary and finance, I think we're good to go because we have the genie in our founding team.
Okay, great. And hey, you can hire lawyers. You can hire people.
Someone is asking, how did you get to the valuation of 4 billion revenue by 2027? What's the strategy?
What's the strategy? So the strategy is, if you look at the crowd investing platform in Africa, it's still nascent and it hasn't really taken off. So according to the Africa Development Bank, they project that over $15 billion are going to be raised by startups through crowdfunding on the continent by the year 2025, right? But if you look into the crowd investing market in Africa, we realize that we don't have the platforms which are actually catering for crowd investing, right? The ones that we used to have are dead. And most of the entrepreneurs are getting funded by outside platforms. So for us, the whole purpose to get into this $4 billion revenue, it's not revenue per se, but the valuation is just, it's based on what we call a hand rate, right? The amount of revenue that we're having, projecting it in future terms. So what we're trying to do is, we're not trying to cater for South Africa and Zimbabwe only, but with time, and that is next year, we're looking on to accelerate our product to cater for startups across Africa. This is why we're looking for that 15,000 to quickly accelerate our product and growth strategy so that we enter those markets, for example, in Uganda and Nigeria, which don't have this infrastructure, but we see them getting about hundreds of millions of funding through outside investors. So if we get that market share, then it justifies that 4 billion valuation by 2027, 100%.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you so much, Melbourne. I think we will move on to the next entrepreneur, and we wish you all the best.
And we saw that there's another question that popped up. We'll go ahead and try to respond to the questions after, but we just want to make sure there's enough time for all of the startups.
Yeah. All right, good luck.
All right, excellent. Okay, so let's move on to the next pitch. Next person pitching is Tafadzwa Chikwereti, and the business is eAgro. eAgro utilizes a disruptive AI-backed system that enhances digital financial inclusion through alternative credit risk assessment model, providing financial institutions with an agriculturally relevant and data-driven model to assess risk and develop loans and insurance that fit the needs of smallholder farmers. That was a long sentence. Not only will this solution unlock millions of dollars of previously risk-averse capital for smallholder farmers, it will improve the livelihoods of entire communities, thereby alleviating poverty, hunger, and inequalities. All right, Tafadzwa Chikwereti, let us hear this pitch.
Hello, that's Taurai, a farmer in Chimanimani. For several years, he could sustain his family and contribute to the economy through farming. But terror struck in 2019 when Cyclone Idai hit and washed away all his crops and livestock. Without farm insurance, it meant that all his livestock and savings were gone, and he could not access the traditional financing to revive his farm without the collateral. The economy and the state would starve. Now, at eAgro, we have come up with a tailored, disruptive solution that protects farmers like Taurai in the event of hazards or other damages, and simultaneously assist unbanked and unbankable farmers to get low-interest credit packages. Our system utilizes farmer data and machine learning to create low-cost creative insurance premiums and credit products that are fit for unbanked farmers' needs. In Africa, over 250 million smallholder farmers are unbanked and don't have comprehensive farm insurance. And in Zimbabwe, that figure stands at an astounding 8 million, with our target market being 4.7 million farmers with feature phones. Our revenue model consists of charging a 6% loan on every loan we commission and insurance premiums that range from $34 to $500. We plan to make a revenue of $20,000 from dispersing 450 loans, and we break even in year 2 and continue to grow on 2x multiple. We are seeking $10,000 in an angel round to finance our 1,000 construction target for the next 18 months, which will allow us to scale our operation, buying more equipment and mobility vehicles. Thank you, eAgro, FarmWise, Farm with us.
And Ron will be answering the questions.
Hi, Ron.
Nice pitch, guys.
Good day. Thank you for that presentation. Again, guys, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. I have one for you, Ron. So eAgro, it's very brilliant. And again, linking smallholder farmers to financing systems. Have you examined your competition in Zimbabwe, and what makes you guys particularly different from them?
Right, so in Zimbabwe, basically, there are companies like Minerva which offer insurance, and what we'd say is our advantage over them is that we are low cost and we're more inclusive. They are uninclusive and they're higher margins and higher cost compared to us. And there are other companies such as Farm Drive, which are inclusive, but they're higher cost, which take up most of the farmers' money, paying to insurance.
Okay, so you're saying your competitive edge is the cost of your platform. When you say they're high cost, what are we talking about exactly? I just want to see, like, when you're looking at it on a comparative basis, you're saying your service provision is pretty much similar, but you just beat them on price only, or is there a little bit more? Let's try to understand that a little bit more. Please, can we parse that a bit more?
All right, so basically it comes down to the system that we use, where we use the vast amounts of data, such as the individual data, the agronomic data, and the environmental data. That allows us to create tailored solution packages for each farmer and not group them and just charge them insurance packages that are rigid. If you look at most insurance packages, they tell you that if you have 1 hectare, it's set at, let's say, $20 per hectare. That's it. But our solution encompasses data analytics that allows us to create tailored solution to each farmer. You say instead of charging $20 fixed rate, with the differentiating per each farmer, which results in lower costs for the farmers. So we differ mainly on using our system, which we developed by ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. And how do you achieve sustainability?
Sustainability, which we achieve it by charging the revenue model of 6% and charging the insurance premiums on the farmers.
Okay. All right. And I think Ryan has a question.
Yep.
Sure.
So interesting. What's the go-to-market strategy from experience? It's been a key driver of the acquisition cost. Secondly, how are you looking at compliance? For example, registration with the Deposit Protection Corporation.
All right, so I'm going to start with the first question. The go-to-market strategy, what we did is we partnered with the microfinance institution initially, which was already offering loans. So they already have the farmers. We are just simply getting onto them, offering them a bundle of services. So that's how we got our first initial customers. We'll continue to scale by partnering with more organizations and more startups that have farmers that will allow us to reach more farmers initially. Then we'll go on to mass advertising as we go on and grow. But initially, that's our strategy of partnering with people who already have farmers in their networks. Then the second question is, how are you looking at compliance? All right, so currently at compliance, we've already registered with IPEC, which mainly regulates insurance and the pensions commission. So we're currently currently legally operating. I say that.
Okay.
Okay, and then with that, I would also like to know about your numbers. Like, when did you guys start? How many smallholder farmers have you assisted thus far?
All right, so the way we started is quite, I can say, unconventional. We started with a different model. Then as we worked with farmers, we realized that most of them don't have access to finance and insurance. Then we pivoted. When we pivoted, that was in 2020, towards the close of 2020. That's when we started our pilot test with 100 farmers. So we concluded that in December. Then we then started again by carrying out surveys and reaching out to more customers in January and February. And we've managed to reach out to 250 farmers, which will be issuing insurance starting March and going forward.
Okay, and then Tinashe wants to know how you're maintaining consistently low premiums using variable data inputs in your model. What about customer KYC?
All right, so I'm gonna start with the first question. How are you?
It's okay, breathing is allowed.
It says, how are you maintaining or looking to maintain consistency? The consistency, I think, we'll achieve it by continuously modifying our system. If our system is able to produce more relevant and accurate data, we'll be able to keep the cost low. Then what about customer KYC? That one, we get it by reaching out and going to the farmers. That's still something that really drives our expenses up, going to the farmers and getting the information. It's still something that we haven't really figured out, but we're on track to do so.
So the problem I've seen with a lot of work with smallholder farmers is getting them like onto the digital platforms. Have you guys found a way around that?
You are excited about that question. You are like, ask me, please. Okay, tell us.
All right. So when we did our pilot program, we realized we had a website, we had sort of like an application. We're all excited about it. So then we realized we're getting 1 or 2 farmers per day. So actually, we then pivoted back then, started going into WhatsApp groups where most farmers are. Then we created a WhatsApp number, which is a simple chatbot. We simply just reach out to them through WhatsApp, reach more farmers that way. And we're still trying to get them on board to using those services. But currently we are mostly focusing on the WhatsApp chatbot. I think that'll be our best bet currently.
Okay. I mean, something to consider is also agents, but maybe at a later date. All right.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
so much.
Thank you.
Ron.
Well done,
I
guys.
don't think we have any more questions for you. Good luck. Great,
Yeah.
great
Thank you,
presentation. Thank you.
Always
right.
impressed by all the features.
So the next startup that we have, guys, is represented by Dion Geranyama. I hope I said that right. And it's called Codepreneur. So they mostly focus on social media and digital marketing, and their team consists of professionals, they say, ready to serve you with the best digital services and digital skills. So, Dion, please tell us a little bit more about Codepreneurs.
Loading.
Meet Chami is one of the 3.96 million youths who are contributing towards half of the population between the ages of 15 to 35 years that are unemployed. And there's more than 13.84 million businesses in Africa that do not have an online presence. Introducing to Codepreneurs, a digital identity startup that is an e-learning platform called WeCode, which teaches young people tech skills for professional development. We help young people kickstart careers as software developers and graphic designers, and we help them find freelancing projects as developers and graphic designers. And our market share stands at 3.96 million potential students between these ages and 13.84 million people, businesses that need an online presence. Our revenue streams are coming from the e-learning platform and commission from the freelancers, and our projections stand at the first 3 months, $610, and we hope that by the first year we would have gained 2.2, and by the end of the fifth year, 4.5. And our ask is $8,000, which will contribute towards the workspace and computers and internet access, tutors, and marketing. In addition, business and technical mentorship and accreditation for our courses. So let's join hands and make the lives of Cham better, and we gain $1 or $2 along the way. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation,
Yeah,
Dion.
Dion. Is Dion with us for the Q&A?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Tao is with us. Hi, Tao. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. We see you're in a car that made it anyway. That's great. The internet is a true digital, a true codepreneur is on the phone in his car. Awesome. So okay.
You wanna go? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your traction. Yeah, what have you guys done so far? How much reach have you had? Traction in terms of customers, obviously, but also even just looking at you as a business and how many codepreneurs you have so far.
All right. So up to date, since this year started, we managed to get more than 10 businesses to do websites for and individuals. And also we managed to get 8+ students who were teaching while using online live platforms like Google Meeting, because we are already setting up our system where they can just go and learn using material online through the online learning platform WeCode. But for now, from our own perspective and how we were marketing, we noticed that we actually going the right way we want to go, because we can tell from the way we got the clients and the way we were marketing, there's a consistency which we can maintain throughout.
Okay, so I have a question about your financials. So according to your graph, you have revenue of $4,500 by year, but your ask is $8,000. So as an investor, I would want to know how that marries, that if I give you $8,000 now, by year 4, your revenue is still $4,500. That seems a little bit off. So just explain a little bit how you work that out.
Well, as we said, we are shifting people from being students to actually getting them something to do. So our revenue is not going to be like our profit is not going to be in large sums, because we want to maintain that gap whereby we incubate someone from our learning platform. We give them opportunities to freelancing. We also then take commission from whatever job they get and they do. So that means we are not going to be getting a lot of money from that, but we want to bridge that gap of digital literacy to young people, so that we incubate them in our digital agents, and then we also offer them opportunities to freelance by partnering with local freelancing platforms like AfriBlogs, because we want to be more Afri-centric than going to partner with those digital platforms which are already well defined in the digital market.
Okay, just one more question follow up. So are you guys operating as a non-profit then? Not-for-profit organization, because that's what it sounds like currently.
Yeah, for now we are flowing as I can say in between, because we are basically taking people through free courses, and then if they want to major in something later on, they can start paying maybe little amounts of money for them to get access to the certification. But yeah, we are in between being a non-profit and a profit-making business.
Okay, I'll let others
let's others ask. Okay, so we have a couple of questions from the audience. We have one from Hope Nchanyuka. What makes your WeCode program different from signing up with other online coding courses? And Tao, I'm going to ask you to gaga your answers, because we do have a couple of questions that are coming in. So if you can gaga.
All right. So the most prominent thing that makes us different is that we are targeting young people from high school, and also we are giving them free complementary courses so that they can get incubated in our digital agents. Then we also open the gate for them to freelancing, whereby they can just do anything whilst they are anyway and get paid for that.
Okay. Do you want to ask him the next question?
Yes. So we have another question from Chengetai Shava. He said, you mentioned 13 million potential workforce. How many students join weekly?
Okay, so our target is to have local students. Usually we are targeting local African people. So our target is first, now we want to have more than 10 students joining weekly, because we are already doing the lessons, but we are using online platforms like Google Meet.
Okay. I just want to
We are
ask, you said
working
we're
on
targeting, but isn't it how many join
How
currently?
many currently?
Because I don't want you to dodge the question. So yes, we understand what you're targeting, but how many currently join weekly? And then you can also tell us about the targeting.
Yeah, for now, as I said, we have we just started with WeCode learning. We have about 7+ students so far who had already done their courses with us. So we are working on setting up the online learning platform now, so that we can get them just going through the online learning platform without us being in between. So that's where we're targeting to have in the beginning 10+ students going further until we raise our marketing strategies better.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Last question from me. I promise.
Go ahead.
Who is on your team? Can you just talk us through your team a little bit?
All right. So for now, we have me and Dion. Dion does telecoms at Tier 1. Our team is made up of students. We have Elisha Bere, who is in SA, who did IT, and we have Gift Ruwente, who is at Harare Institute of Technology, who is doing IT at the same time.
Okay.
But we are also dreaming of growing. We are open to anyone coming into our team.
Okay. Great.
Thank you. Thank you, Tau. Good luck, guys.
Great. Thank you, Chao. Okay.
So,
Is this our final?
no.
Okay.
this is
I was like, wait.
we still have two more.
Okay,
two more
good.
to go.
Okay, I was like, no.
more to
But we're gonna go into a fintech startup. It's interesting. A lot of people are in fintech, and I just wanted to quickly mention that on March 1, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is opening the fintech sandbox for fintech innovation. So people can try things, and also to help startups with the regulatory environment here, and how they can actually get legal, but also how they can play around. So I think that's exciting. We'll see what happens. But March 1, that's Monday. So watch out for that.
So go play around in the sandbox, guys.
Exactly. Go play around in the sandbox. We need a place where we can play and innovate. Okay, so the next pitch is by Hilary Mushamuviri. And the startup is Wanamari, which is a fintech startup that is committed to expanding financial access by democratizing small business and startups' access to capital. We help startup businesses to access capital, and at the same time, help an everyday person to invest within their means. We believe that if spending is easy, investing can also become easy.
And spending is very easy.
It's very easy.
Overspending is even much easier.
It's much easier too, you know. All right, so let's hear it from Hillary.
Not Clinton.
Traditional financial institutions sideline startup businesses because they deem them to lack adequate track record to prove their creditworthiness. Everyday people do not have the opportunity to invest within their means in a simple and secure way that allows them to grow their money consistently. This is why Wanamari created a platform that allows startups to raise capital through an investor community that we are building. It's a platform also that allows everyday people to invest within their means in a secure way. Our total addressable market is worth 900 billion, which is a global market. But as Wanamari, we are targeting a $10 billion market, which is a local market. We charge 5 to 10% for raising capital for startups. At the same time, we also charge interest on capital from our investment fund that we're building. So far, we have worked with 365 startups, and we have managed to meet 550 funding requests over a period of 2 years, with a payback rate of 98%. For the past year, our revenue was $225,000, and we intend to reach $5 million in the next 5 years. We are looking to raise $88,000 in return of 15% equity. In addition, we are looking for mentorship and valuable networks. The funds will go towards startup funding. It will also go towards customer acquisition, team building, and also platform development. Thank you.
Okay, very nice, Hillary. Are you here?
Hillary?
Great.
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. Well done.
My first question, Hillary, is you said you're targeting 10 billion of the local market. So is that the total addressable local market? And are you aiming at getting all of the local market? Like, what is the percentage of the local market that you're targeting?
At the moment, we are targeting 30% of the target revenue market.
And Chengetai Shawa is asking also, how did you arrive at 10 billion addressable market?
Okay, those are the statistics that we got from Zimstats.
Okay. All right, great.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
We're going to be... Okay, another question from Chensha. How do you pick what companies to invest in?
What we do is that we have a rigorous assessment that anyone who wants to get funding go through. So after they've passed through the rigorous assessment, then we can raise capital for them.
That's a good way, rigorous. Okay, that's great. And this assessment, like how I don't want you to give away anything that you think is proprietary that someone might take away. But when you talk about rigorous assessment, could you tell us like elements of it, just in a way that doesn't, you don't have to tell us exactly what you do, but just like, do they go through you know what I mean? What kind of due diligence are you doing?
Like, do you go to people's homes?
Do you do legal? Do you do a credit check? Like, what is this rigorous? Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Thank you. We look at several things. The other one, which is very important to us, is character, because we are building a community of investors. So we definitely would want to work with people that are trustworthy, because we also have to protect our investors. So we also look at character. So we use artificial intelligence to better assess the business. So yeah.
Do you know what? The thing is, when people say things like AI, then you've just spoke to me. I'm like, yes, tell us. Okay, so you're using like online stuff. Are you giving people tests? Like, how are you using, artificial intelligence? Not what is your test, but are you giving people tests? Go online. Are you doing a background check? Like, how do you assess my character with the artificial intelligence? Are you checking out my social media? Like, yeah, what is it?
Okay, there are some data points that you give us access to, so that will allow us to better know you. Yeah, besides the background check that we do, and also the traditional ways that we use. At the same time, we are also not sidelining just like the traditional banks does, because it's a risky space. So we are not looking at, do you have collateral and all that. Yeah.
Okay, and then you said you made a revenue of $225,000. One, is that local or
RTGS dollars, US
currency?
Dollars, Australian dollars?
US dollars.
Okay.
And then can you talk us through your business model a little bit more?
Okay. So basically, what we are doing is we are helping startups to access capital in an easy way. So it's a community of entrepreneurs and also a community of investors that we are building. Like we are saying that anyone can invest. If it's simple to spend, it can also be simple to invest. So that's our model. Someone wants capital, then we have a pool of investors that we have, more of like crowdfunding.
Okay, and I saw there was a question from there.
Okay, go ahead and ask it.
Okay, because usually when you spend, you don't expect the money back, but I imagine with investors, they expect the money back, right? So with the high rate of startup failures, how are you able to drive a 98% repayment rate?
Okay. Our difference is that we build relationships, because we believe that funding someone is a matter of trust. You borrow someone, for example, banks, they do borrow based on trust. That's why they run to civil servants, because there's some level of trust that they've created. The money is coming direct into their accounts from the source to the accounts. So we create relationship with these entrepreneurs, and also through a sister company that is called Billions Business Magazine. We don't just dump loans; we actually follow them up to see whether they're actually, using the money for what they said. So we actually have experts that, if they need assistance in not just in finances, but in any other areas of business, then we would assist them.
Okay, great. We have a question from Mukuzeshi Katsubusa. What are the criteria for investing in startups?
What is the criteria? Okay. Now, if you look at stock exchange, it's for a layman, it's really difficult to invest, because you have to go through a broker. There are a lot of things that you need to do. But with us, it's just your money, and then we have a simple form that you can understand, that you just go through. If you're up with it, then you invest. So we don't have much procedures to someone. We want to make it as simple as possible.
Okay, and what is the payback rate like in general? Based on
payback rate.
Based on your experience so far, what is the payback rate?
Okay, our payback rate is 98%.
That's the 98% that they were asking about. How? Okay,
yeah, it's 98%. Yeah.
Okay, and I have a question from Tinashe Bandera. Average financing request amount ? How much of the loan book is financed by individual contributions? Which markets are you currently active in?
Okay, average financing request amount, or like the minimum amount, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, not minimum, average. Like mostly people ask you for 5,000 or 10,
yeah.
not the lowest, but what's the one you see most recurring?
Okay, most of our fundings is usually 500 going upwards, $500 to be precise.
$500. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then how
Mhm.
much of our loan book is financed by individuals? I can say that 60% is our own, 40% is from individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then which markets are you currently active in?
Zimbabwe. In terms of startup funding, it's Zimbabwe. But in terms of crowd investing, we are operating in Zambia, in South Africa. We have clients in UK, and also Zimbabwe.
Okay. When people say Zimbabwe, they usually mean Harare. So. Harare and Blue.
I hope I answered it.
Okay, all right. I have one more question from Startup Thoughts. Just curious about the AI. Me too. How many clients have you guys worked with really for the meantime? Question mark. How many forms of data sets and variables are you collecting before you disperse funds?
Okay. How many clients have you guys worked with really for the meantime? That's about 365 startups. Those are the startups that we've worked.
365 startups.
One for
Yeah.
every day.
Okay. You know, every day there's a startup for 1 year. Great.
Exactly. How many forms of data sets? I'm not sure if I'm able to really get into the details of this one, but all I can say is
Can you approximate?
Sorry?
Can you approximate? Can you just say roughly?
Give us an average.
Yeah. Or, you know, comes out like around.
Around 6.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll let Hillary go, guys. I think.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Hillary, good luck.
All right.
That was like Spanish Inquisition there.
People want to know. And you know, because he was very concise with his words, people want to know. So yeah, it's good.
Okay, guys. Our final startup for the day is Kumbiraishe Lukwara. And his company's name is Source Inco, and they're a one-stop agriculture service center. I'm really curious about this because when people say one-stop, and their main service offering is an agricultural digital marketplace, primarily targeting to integrate links between smallholder farmers in rural areas, large buyers, and financial service providers. So let's hear more about the digital platform for smallholder farmers.
Loading.
The problems faced by smallholder farmers in rural areas include poor access to dependable agronomic markets, efficient logistics systems, financial services, and value chain information asymmetry. Our solution is to provide a blockchain-powered platform where smallholder farmers can track produce with livestock buyers in the absence of B2B, access financial services, hire smart farming equipment, end-to-end logistics services, and other agricultural services that they may need. There are more than 500 million smallholder farmers in the world, 33 million in sub-Saharan Africa. Zimbabwe has more than 1.5 million smallholder farmers. We are targeting 80% of the smallholder farmers in Zimbabwe to amount to 1.2 million smallholder farmers who have access to cellular communication. There is competition within this space already, but our major boost is the use of blockchain technology, which will give credibility to smallholder farmers, both locally and internationally, as consumers now have a reliable way of tracking food all the way back to the farm. We have a very flexible revenue model, and our major revenue streams are commissions from the platform and agricultural services. We are projecting to have registered at least 1,800 farmers by year 3, with our revenue at 76,500 by year 3. Financially, we are seeking to raise $30,000 to be invested in research and development, acquire smart farming equipment, and further marketing. We are also looking for mentorship, networking with key partners, and working space. Thank you.
Hi, Kumbirai.
Hi. Well done for your presentation, Kumbirai.
Can you hear us? And you are muted. Can you unmute your mic so we can ask you questions and hear you? I hope you can hear us. Can you unmute your mic?
He's looking for a place to unmute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
While you're looking for the unmute button.
Yes, guys. How are you?
Great. Managed to unmute. We're good. We have a lot of feedback. So maybe okay, maybe ask on the 30,000 ask. You didn't say, is that for debt and interest repayment, or is that for equity? If it's for equity, how much equity is it for?
Pardon, I didn't hear your question very well.
You asked for $30,000. You're asking for $30,000 investment. Is that
Yes.
equity investment, debt, or what?
Primarily, we are looking for debt finance, but in terms of equity, we are offering 15% for 30,000 with a buyback clause of 10%.
Okay.
Okay. And you're asking for all this money, and I noticed that one of the aspects is research and development. So I would like to know how much of your own money you've put into this, and where you guys are currently. Like how much money have you put into it yourself?
Currently, we are working on developing our MVP, which will be scheduled for September 2021 this year. So what we did is we are partnering with an IT company which specializes in this, in technology. So the deal is not necessarily on cash basis, but we'll pay as we go. So that's our current stance.
Okay. Can I ask how come September? Is it and not that it's a bad thing at all. I just want to understand, like, why did you pick September and that number of months specifically to fully develop your MVP? Is it just the building of your product is going to take that long, or?
Currently, I'm based in China, so by September, I expect to be fully around, whilst I can do everyday activities of the business as well. So it will be fine if I will be around to do hands-on.
This is what is so cool about doing Founders Online. He's in China. You could have been next door in Zimbabwe. Yeah, that's great.
So, Kumbera, I actually have a question around that. You know, if your business needs you particularly in order to prosper, for me, that's already a red flag. So who else is on your team to push this while they're in Zimbabwe, in terms of like talking to the farmers and the developers and everything like that? Is it just you out there in China, or do you have people on the ground?
I have people on the ground. I have a team comprising of 5 people who have in different trades. So in terms of research and development, each one will be tackling each section. Then we have got some advisors who are into finance, agriculture, logistics, and that's our major boost. So that's how our team is structured for the moment.
Okay, great. I like that you said joints. Yeah, we want different joints. Okay, so we've got a couple of comments. Farm Heart says, this is great. Tanaka Bwanya says, wow, impressive. Now, a question from Tinashe Bandera. Seems like a marketplace model. Can you shed more light on the products? Are you using the blockchain for data collection? If so, how are you converting that to revenue? How are you collating and ingesting data in your system?
Tinashe has all the tough questions.
Okay.
Yeah, Tinashe, we love you. You're great.
Okay, so what we are going to do, initially we are going to do a pilot test in in Honda Valley. So we are aware of the challenges around technologies in Zimbabwe. So we are going to deploy the blockchain system by year 3. First of all, we are going to integrate it using the baseline protocol, so that we are able to integrate all the local systems that are used in different organizations and the different systems that we are going to use to collect data, because we are going to accommodate farmers who have the lowest possible technology, as long as he or she has a mobile phone which can access a call or receive an SMS. We are going to deal with you. We are going to be also doing data collection on WhatsApp. So in terms of blockchain technology, it is dependent on how the market responds, but basing on our research, the market has already responded to our proposal. So we are going to use baseline protocol for integrating to the blockchain technology, so that those who don't have access to high technology will also be accommodated and also have their data captured on the blockchain system.
Okay. And I was going to actually ask about that, if you guys are only for smartphones, or if you also have a USSD application, which you've just said that is also available, correct? I heard you correctly.
Yes. What we'll be doing is we are going to diversify the platform. So it will be available on a web platform, applications, WhatsApp, as well as text messages. For that is specifically for farmers. But for those who are on the buying side, the lowest possible technology that they can use is WhatsApp, then applications and web services.
Okay.
And Startup Thoughts, who are you, Startup Thoughts? Reveal yourself. What's your competitive edge, considering Fresh in a Box has a monopoly on the market?
Interesting question. Our competitive edge is, first of all, we are a one-stop agricultural platform. We are going to deal with the farmer from the moment he thinks of going to farm to the moment where they harvest and trade their produce, which is one competitive advantage. The second one is we are going to have greater outreach. Most of the available solutions, they are operating within the urban periphery, and they have no deep access to deep lying areas in the rural areas. So that will be one of our major boosts. And the third one is the use of blockchain technology, which will give transparency to the smallholder farmers, both locally and internationally, as consumers can track food all the way back to the farm. Imagine if you are going to supermarket, you just get out your phone, you scan to the code, you're able to access how the fruit was grown, which chemicals were used, how was it transported, who and where were the distribution channels of the product. So that's our major leverage as of now.
I mean, I love this. The dream is big, so you better hurry and make it happen. September can't come soon enough. Last question, though, I do have what are your different sources of revenue? I know you went through them in the presentation, but I would just like to find out what would be the sources of revenue. Is it just selling the smallholder farmer produce? What does Source Inc. gets?
And if you can answer the question ga, because there's another question from someone watching, and then that will be the last.
Okay. Our sources of revenue, primarily we are eliminating middlemen. So we are to say commissions from the platform. That's one. And the second one are agricultural services. We are going to be offering artificial insemination, drone services, those ones to spread their farms, and other agricultural services that I've listed below. I will also provide it on our website, which will going to come out in 2 months' time. Then there are also advertising for input companies can also upload. Then we are also going to monetize information on the blockchain, because I understand a lot of organizations will be in search of that critical information, including the government agencies that want that final information that we are going to be holding. So that will be our major monetization project. Then we are also having an interesting one. We also want to promote value addition in communities. So what we'll be doing is we are going to engage in community-based processing systems. For example, processing jam, peanut butter in communities. So we are going to be taking such projects, which is another major revenue source that we are going to be engaging in.
Okay, great. Really quickly, there's a question from Chantel Shoko. How are you going to fight issues around modern technology adoption in rural areas? If you can also answer, because there is another one. Can we squeeze in the other one, or does this have to be the last?
So okay, just answer quickly.
If you answer quickly enough, we can ask you the last question that someone else put. So please answer quickly.
Okay, in terms of how we're going to go around technology adoption, first of all, I've mentioned it, we are going to try as much as possible to offer the service to the least, to the lowest possible technology that can be adopted by rural areas farmers. Then secondly, we are going to establish community help centers in rural areas where those people that cannot access technology, they can have their accounts managed at that particular center so that they can be able to go there and update their account information, update their information on their produce, so if it's ready on the market, and other services that they require. So that's
it's
how
like
we
a
are going to
kind of for the rural areas. Okay, there was one more question. I think you answered fast enough. Please, can you bring it on the screen? There was a question by someone called Mugu. Okay.
Do you guys have any sustainability targets in the long term once the firm has grown?
Yes, definitely. We have our sustainable goals. The first one that I can mention today is we are going to start as targeting as a green company. We are going to not be using any plastic products in our operations, in all our operations, which is one of the sustainable goals. Then other project we are going to be showcasing as time goes on, but this is our major target as we go into the operation phase.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, guys. That's it. All 5 startups.
Yeah. And, I was like, oh, now my face is covered. Okay, cool.
It's okay.
I was like, what do we do? This is a cool one. Oh, this is also a cool one. This is also a great one, as usual. So I'm stressed again, as per usual, because this is great. It's good stress because, guys, Zimbabwean startups.
No, and it's really brilliant, guys. The nice thing about this particular platform is the power is in your hands. You guys decide who you like, of which some of them are very similar, right? Like Startup 360 and Wanamari, and then there's eAgro and Source, and then Codepreneurs, which kind of like stands on its own. So it's a tough one for me. I don't know.
It's a tough one. I don't know.
I think this is really like a case of like investing in the people that you like.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not even just, at least they're out there now. So even if it's not necessarily the winner who everyone votes for, they're out there. People might have side conversations afterwards. But as I always say, apathy has no place here. If you do not vote, who are you voting for?
The winner.
The winner. If you don't vote, you're voting for the winner. So don't come with sub stories about, oh, I didn't vote. The link is up next to our screen. There's a QR code as well. So hararevoting.founderslive.com. Vote for your favorite startup. It's your vote that counts. This is not a panel of judges that is sitting there. You are literally the panel of judges.
You are the judge. And can you also put it in the comment section, that voting link? Because we literally have 4 minutes to vote. And while we do that, we're going to listen to a cartoon. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Cartoon. That sounds like cartoon, but anyway. From Master K. And his name is also Hillary, but it's Hillary Marufu. And he was born in 1997. All these young people. Sorry, Master H. What am I saying? It's not Master K. Master K is a different one. But he grew up in Chitungwiza with a love for music. And he began his journey with the breakout hit song, Kasonke Kushaya. I don't know if you guys have listened to that. If you haven't, go on YouTube and listen to it now. It came out in December 2016. And then he has gone on to record many other tracks, the most popular of which have been Chikomba, I love you. The vibe is correct. And kufamba nekutenda. And then his recent song is called Kastep.
This is my tune. This has been my tune for the last few days, and I'm just feeling like, Dineka step. You just feel like, yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, it's a pretty dope song. So while you guys vote, we're going to listen to Kastep and then get to stepping.
Are you going to wear your juicy while we do listen to Kastep? It will get too much.
I'm going to vote.
Okay, all right. It's
we don't miss them.
Let's listen to Kastep, and if you feel like dancing while we're listening, dance and vote at the same time.
Yes, but don't forget to vote.
Vote. You have a few minutes. I'm about to vote as well.
Yes. Okay, you guys can watch us vote.
Tinotenda tasunungurwa pauda kastepke buda mukorona fanda zvangu ndine zudo formula tiri kutobida intonimo kakubiyo tine kastepke kufamba tine kastepke kufamba yemino tine kastepke kufamba ako yemino tine kastepke kufamba mtira tine kastepke nemukurumbira tine kastepke kufamba mtira tine kastepke nopisa nochisiva mafia tine kastepke kufamba mtira tine kastepke nemukurumbira tine kastepke kufamba mtira tine kastepke nopisa nochisiva mafia kastepke kulabuka mtabela matela kastepke ma businessmen anabatela kastepke kuterwa tomtomu yalandela kastepke bachaya ni Manuela Boswita kastepke mafute kastepke banabane musenengenge kastepke chitumbuke chindekende kastepke kutisa polisi uri muchimbembe kuchita te babate akakatya chawati tena nate mama banakirwa makasi te mamate koko batoina tikati te kokote ay wachatika stepi kekwa chali jumping step kebiso kekutika siya something kemuna nemsoro pangu kufamba ungese mwana ari munapwe dileka step kekufamba mtira dileka step kane mukurumbira dileka step kekufamba mtira dileka step kanopisa mochisiva mafia dileka step kekufamba mtira dileka step kane mukurumbira dileka step kekufamba mtira dileka step kanopisa mochisiva mafia setaka step kekwale na chimchache kofamba kunge chikure chikuyenda kumpanda kekufamba uchizonyongoka ikako kanosekesa nyangwe mpava yakawasa kastep kemaslenda kastep kutakurwa nemepo chienda kastep kemashuru kuimuwemwe mnebeba kastep kechirema chinobamba chakapenda tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa mochisiva mafia tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa mochisiva mafia ako kastep kemataku kastep kematirumane tapu matare matumbu kwenye mbavu ako kastep kechisombi kastep kemuno amuburuka komi kastep kemuno atobiwa tomi kastep kachoro watanda kukufomi yao tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa mnochisiva mafia tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa mochisiva mafia tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa mochisiva mafia tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kane mukurumbira tine kastep kekufamba mtira tine kastep kanopisa
Kastep keku wina. Ndiani ane kastep keku wina.
Vamwe nemajuzi avo.
Shamwari ndakatora juzi rangu randakakanganwa.
Oh my goodness. I love that song. It's so like upbeat and like
Kastepka. It just makes you feel yourself when you walk. Famani kastep, you know.
Feeling myself.
You know, feeling myself might delete later. So should we listen to some more?
I know you guys are going to be like, please, we need more time to vote. So let's listen to one more song by K-Chaps. Yes. So but we'll listen to another song so you guys can really understand how talented this young man is. I love seeing
because
that.
young man.
Young man.
But yeah, Tongo's that juicy, but we need to learn about the other songs. So that will give you people more time to vote.
Did you just say you people?
I said you people.
Please play the song.
I feel like the only people who are allowed to say you people.
No, just play the song.
Support, come and save me before I say what I want to say. Can I say what I want to say?
No.
I feel like the only people who can say you people.
Why? I said no.
Support, can you put the K-Chap song? Because I really want to say what I want to say though. Why? Do you feel like it's offensive? No one should say you people. You're right. Okay, for everybody, please vote.
Or maybe we should just show the results now. What's going on? Let's just show the results. People don't need more time to vote.
Okay, yay, more time to vote. And I stopped myself from hit lap.
Ndakafamba matunhu akawanda ndichitsvaga rudo zvichindiramba ndegenda vepedyo nekuzviramba wakauya ukadzika misahana moro bebi unonzani wakanyimwerera ndikabva ndatenda Mwari ndikaziva kuti wakabira zvechokwadi chanengoda kungokupa rudo rwechokwadi fast forward wena zvino wakundiganzira manyepo ese avataura wakukabira ndaedza kutsanangura zvichabatsira kutsanangura uchawisisa ona chese chandareva wakuchipikisa ndiana kukunyepera imbonditsipira ndaedza kutsanangura zvichabatsira kutsanangura uchawisisa zvino ukandiramba ndosara ndichifunga iwe dzigaridzike iwe hazvina utano iwe ukandibuka ndosara ndichifunga iwe ndisodzi pamatama iwe hazvina utano dzakauya katingotsaurira rana tiedze kumba ramangwana bebi ndatiuya katingotaurirana rana tiedze kumba ramangwana bebi pawakatanga kutambana namuta remember zvandakakudza wakawanza mashamwari uchandiramba zvino wandipandukira chopasi wava nekamwe kakulusa fokasi rudo rwacho rwarwebhokasi unondinyima ndine ongasi shausazoterere makuwaya ukangodaro rudo waruraya zvimwe zvavanokudza haya hanzi ndiri kukutambisira nguvaya sazoterera nyaya dzanakaivi sekuti vakandiona ndiri laivi ndine chipembi chanditambira majaivi ndobva vandirekodha imigaizi zvino ukandiramba ndosara ndichifunga iwe dzigaritsike iwe hazvina utano iwe ukandibuka ndosara ndichifunga iwe ndisodzi pamatama iwe hazvina utano dzakauya katingotaurirana rana tiedze kumba ramangwana bebi ndatiuya katingotaurirana rana tiedze kumba ramangwana bebi
whatever that means.
It doesn't help. It's not healthy.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
I just thought I would help the sister out if she didn't know.
that.
But okay.
I know that.
Thank you all for joining us again today and joining us for the previous 13 episodes. If you haven't seen the previous 13 episodes, a lot of them are online.
Yeah, go to our YouTube, to the Impact Harare YouTube page and our Facebook page. It has all of those.
It has all of those, and you can see the startups that are around in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them that pitched in previous events are looking still for partnering, for funding, for developers, all sorts of things. So, you can really play in the startup ecosystem, but keep engaging with us. At Impact Harare, we're so excited to bring you these additions and to connect the globe to our local talent and to bring the globe to the local talent too. So, yeah.
So, shall we find out who the winner is?
My heart can't take it.
Okay. We don't even know.
We don't even know. We voted, but
okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Do we just sit?
Yeah, no, I don't know,
Support
drum roll,
it.
something, support, show us the results.
I feel like we need to get a drum roll, for next time, an audio drum roll. Does it sound better than that? Okay, Tabu, you're killing us. We want to know who won. Who won? The winner of Founders Live Harare episode 14 is about to come up on the screen in 5,
hopefully
4,
3,
2, 1. Oh my God.
Who is the winner? What is going on with these votes?
So much. Okay, I feel like this is a suspense game. And guys, if you didn't vote, it's too late, really.
Is it though?
Do you think people can still vote? Okay, let's see what he's saying. Technical issues. It isn't showing the results. Okay, so should we wait? Should we give it? Are you resolving? How many minutes? What should we do?
Okay, let me see if I can help support here, because
you want to support.
I want to support.
Hey, because support needs support too. Everybody needs support.
Why would the results not show?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I keep looking at my phone, guys, and I know very soon we'll, so you'll just have to bear with us for a few more minutes. You asked me a hard question while we're trying to figure this out.
I asked you a hard question.
Yeah. You asked me a hard question. We just stopped because we're trying to see votes. Okay, how about you answer my question and then while support troubleshoots.
Okay. I'll answer.
What do you think is the one thing that will help startups in Zimbabwe the most to get ahead?
What do I think is the one thing that will help startups in Zimbabwe get ahead?
The one.
Well, I think the problem that I've seen with a lot of the pitch competitions is you sign up for a pitch competition and then the prize money is $1,000, $5,000. Hardly ever is it pitch and then win $500,000. And then you run into the problem of pitchpreneurs, right? They see you every time. They get tired of you. But I'm like, you're not giving me enough money to actually scale my business enough. So I think we need to build the venture capital ecosystem in our country. Because I know there are people who have money, but what do we do to make them invest in our local startups? I think building the venture capital ecosystem in Zimbabwe and making sure that there's due diligence on both sides. So it's a mix of investment readiness and investor readiness. Coupling that together.
I just thought of a really cool pun.
What?
You know how due diligence, I just thought due diligence, DO. Isn't that cool? As a thing, as a name for something or something. Like do, because you have to do stuff, right? And you have to be diligent about what you do.
Okay, so do we have?
Yeah, she's like, please save us from these puns and all of this, and please.
We can use the raw data to see, because I can kind of tell you already just by looking at the raw data.
Okay, so maybe support if you can put on one more song, so we can actually crunch from the raw data if it's not automatically coming up on the app, you know, and then we can go into our little blockchain here and tell everyone who the winner is. Right. But we don't want people watching us while we do it, and then some of us come up with puns. People don't like our puns.
No, it's not that I don't like it.
I thought that's brilliant. Due diligence. Like, guys, D-O diligence. Come on. You have to do things diligently.
Yes, Tuzoka. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Tabu, is there any way that you can put a song on while we crunch the numbers?
Yeah, we'll crunch them very quickly.
And sorry, startups, we are not sure what happened with the platform, but we will figure it out shortly.
Yeah. But your votes are locked in, so don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. There's no, that's why we said we're going into our blockchain. There's no, it's in a ledger, no one is tampering with the votes.
Exactly. Okay? You can put juicy again. Maybe you have people cry a little.
I don't think Taku's going to let us out. Oh, this is hilarious. No? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to mute us and we can crunch the numbers.
Okay.
And I'm also going to call.
Enda pakatsikatsika onyatsopaterera apafe pakurasisa kurema nekurwadza kwazvo uchamiramira here uchingondisimbisa hongu ndakambofarawo sevamwe ndati ndikuudze ndiri ndega vachati uri kuitsei naye chimwe changu usazondirega zvakaipa nezvakanaka pandotadza pandinonatsa handisi kukumanikidza nono hanzi wakandisarura kana wafunga kuda inini baby ndipe nemavanga wafunga kutora moyo wangu chibva watora nemavanga gara watora zvese tora nemavanga gara watora zvese we nemavanga baby Gumbo mumoyo nerimwe mufungwa zvishande zvese ita make sure rudo ibofu havarevi nemasi rako bebi ngaritsange ranyatsondiona rogutsikana nezvisi zvavo pavanounza rime tachiedza changu usanditambisire nguva kana wafunga kuda inini baby ndipe nemavanga wafunga kutora moyo wangu chibva watora nemavanga gara watora zvese tora nemavanga gara watora zvese we nemavanga baby
For me, the scar is proof that you were hurt and that it took a while or some work to actually heal and be whole again or be better. And but when it comes to personal experiences for me, I see a scar as, you know, you can mention something that hurt me and my heart will skip a beat for like a second, or I might be uncomfortable for like a second. But after that, I'll be completely fine, because just like a scar, I can put my hand over it and I will feel that dent, because that's what it is. It's a scar. A scar is proof that I was hurt and I got better. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Level 8. I'm hoping by now you moved on. Expecting you to wait to be selfish and too wrong. I love you, but the truth is I love music way more. And by handing you number 2, girl, I was such an a-hole. Especially when I confess that everything in your life you really don't deserve. And I could quit no bias. Was stuck between your love and a very hard place. Trying to choose wise, but my one either way. I know you're always gonna find a better person, that's a fact. But I'm never gonna have another life in my reps. And now all the sacrifices turning me into a mess is true. When this the music is a gift and such a curse, but I hope they will appreciate the diamond. Understand the pressure I had to take to be around him. Couldn't bear to see you with your chairman, to be honest. Beg for attention and never find it. Those sounds beautiful. Naisada kuenda kasi those sounds beautiful. Those sounds beautiful. Naisada kuenda kasi those sounds beautiful. Those sounds beautiful. Those sounds beautiful. Hey, 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 those sounds beautiful. Hey, 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 I'm hoping by now you moved on. Expecting you to wait to be selfish and too wrong. I love you, but the truth is I love music way more. And by handing you number 2, I'm such an a-hole. Cause first time that I met you, I was certain you were my boy. Ukatinde mavanga, can you take me as I am though? Head of West and Itimbati Sis and never let go. Pagazeta Maku when the two of us couldn't stay strong. Yeah, and I could feel longer with forcing it. That's why I kept saying, when I was just gonna make a sense. I never thought I'd be right here doing reminiscence. To shake up Actora with 6 my label just to cure the pain. Yeah, sorry, I had to put the dream first. I'm insane. So I waited off 14 distance. I'm just a kid who's trying to make a dream work. And I hope that
We're muted. Okay, hello people. So my vote counters. Yes. Are recalled. So
we had to do it manually.
We had to do it manually, and this was not the fault of support. There's something that happened to the new counting new counting system that we installed. So we had to do a manual count. Thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah.
So we are going to tell you who the winner is. And I'm so excited that today so many people voted.
Yeah, so we received a total of 288 votes. So thank you guys for voting so much. So we'll do 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So number 3 was Source Inc.
Hey! Source Inc. Number 3. Congratulations. Number 2 is, can you see it in my eyes? E-Agric.
Well done, guys. And the number 1 startup for the day is a startup. Startup 360. Well done, guys.
Absolutely.
Do we have them online so we can congratulate them?
Yeah, please can they come online? And Oxy, please can you tell us what it is that they actually get?
Oh, yes.
Well done. Oh, I like that enthusiasm. Yes.
That's the whole family here. That's the whole family here.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
So I'll tell you what you guys win. You're going to win $10,000 worth of Amazon Web Services credits. So that will get your startup. Start it up. Yes. I was trying to be clever there. And you also get membership at Impact of Harare. We'll help you guys out with networking, connecting you to investors, markets, and all of that good stuff. Space, of course, co-working space, although we don't really know where you are joining us from right now. But you'll be part of like our virtual membership community. And for everybody who gets to present today, who managed to get through all the rounds to get to this stage, they also walk away with $5,000 worth of Amazon Web Services. So my main thing that I always say all the time, show up, guys. It's very important that you show up. It's unfortunate. We actually had a startup that we loved, and then they didn't send in their stuff on time. And because of that, they're already losing out on just the platform and the Amazon Web Services. You don't know who is watching. Obviously, a lot of people are watching. So showing up really is half the battle. And I always tell the startups to show up. So well done, guys, for showing up.
And well done to all of you guys. And even if you didn't come first, also well done. And you're out there now. We are here for you. We're going to continue to speak with you and collaborate with you and find opportunities. But absolutely well done. The pitches today were phenomenal.
On point. It was hard, guys.
It was really difficult.
Hard.
I'm sure even for people voting. But this is only the beginning.
So let's hear it from Startup 360. How are you guys feeling? Can you hear us?
I think.
It's a happy house.
It's a happy house for sure. We're very excited. We just want to thank Impact Hub for the opportunity. We want to thank the squad that was supporting us from back home. It was a circus when it came to voting, but we came through. So I just want to thank the guys back home for doing the things for us. And I just want to wish everyone the best. And we help startups get funding. So the other guy.
And we lost him. Because we still have Computer Eye here with us, do you have anything that you would like to say as well? You did.
I think I'm excited for the future, and I hope to see how the project unfolds. I know it was difficult to come to the contest without having traction, but we are optimistic on the project and great things await us. So ready to come back next time when we have implemented part of the project, so that everyone can appreciate and see what we are really up for and what we really mean by our project.
Great. Okay. And sorry, we had lost you for a second. Startup 360. So you can finish. Your screen went blank, and so you can finish off what you were saying.
Okay. Now, I was saying for the guys who didn't make it into the top 2 or 3, you have our details. If you're looking for funding, that's what we do. So let's get you funded. I'm already selling myself. I was the startup. So let's get you funded. That's for sure. I thought you were
going to be like, talk to us so we can tell you how we want. No, that's great.
No. That's it.
Well done, guys. Absolutely well done. And thank you to everybody who tuned in with us today. We're going to end this on a
somber high note.
Well done to you as well, Tao. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Hillary. Hey, Ron. Oh, thank you guys for joining us. So while we have all of you guys on the screen, we're going to end on a somber note. Chiba passed away. And I don't know anyone who isn't a fan. Actually, I was about to say a lot of us are fans, but I'm like, I actually personally haven't met a person who isn't a fan. And it was so sad because, I feel like it's so wonderful to have so much talent in Zimbabwe, whether it's across the entrepreneurship space like you guys, and then in the musical space and the arts. in science, everything, and we do have so much talent.
Mhm.
So, we just wanted to go out with a Sauro song. And you guys are free to jam or just listen or whatever in kind of an opposite moment of silence, right? It's a moment of jamming
It's a moment of jubilation.
A moment of jubilation
Yes.
for Sauro.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, DJ.
DJ.
Oskidi, abasalinda kumubata teketi, anumiringa ngakuda kuti ibenzi, andimirindu wa high grade, chatsoswa, chapa chaposwa, chakazotswa, chadonswa, right sa, nakatula zido nakazodura, chibanga ngoma chinopora, akimba zinangapora, naitabasa,
Come on, startups can dance. Everyone is like, we're business people. Yeah. It's a Friday after all. All right, guys. All right, support. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Tapu, if you want to come on and wave to the people for the amazing support job you're doing, please come on the screen before you log us out. All right, bye guys. Well done. We're coming to your inboxes. Happy weekend, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.